Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here another 10 pens currently inked this week. I think let's go through these briefly one by one. We'll go through them in a little bit more detail and then we'll do a writing sample. So from left to right we have a Visconti Kaleido Voyager, and this is in the forest green. We have a Visconti Kaleido Voyager in the yellow dawn. We have a Visconti Medici Magnifico in the red marble. We have a Visconti Medici Magnifico in the Lapis Lazuli. We have a WAHL Eversharp, and this is the Decoband Oversize in the Jade. We have another WAHL Eversharp Decoband Oversize in the Positano blue. We have a Classic Pens LB5 Kaen. We have a Visconti Opera Master, and this is the River Thames. We have an Onoto Great Court, and this is the British Museum. And we have an Onoto Magna Carta. So I think let's take a look at these pens inked up here this week in a little bit more detail. So we have this Visconti Kaleido Voyager, and I really do like this a lot. It really is a beautiful, beautiful pattern that I have here on this Kaleido Voyager. These were made in the 1990s, I believe, and these are quite an interesting pen. They come with the old Visconti keel clip there, keel as in a keel on a boat. Looks very similar. They come in this lovely sort of resin, and I believe that some of the swirls might be celluloid. I'm not 100% sure, but it does come with a 14 karat gold original Visconti nib made by Bock, and that one is a fine nib. It's a cartridge converter pen, and you can post the cap, and it posts quite deeply, quite securely as well. I do like these Kaleido Voyagers. They are really good pens, and I have a number of these in my collection, and this is one of them. So I have that one inked up this week, and I honestly would, if I could find them, I would probably buy more of them. I think providing they were the Kaleido Voyagers and not just a regular Voyager. Kaleido is this lovely sort of Kaleido pattern. The next pen inked up this week again is another Visconti Kaleido Voyager, and it's the Yellow Dawn. Again, beautiful pen. I got both of these from a shop in Italy. It was a bookshop, strangely enough, book and other accessories. And I saw this being sold on eBay, and this was the one I really wanted, but I saw the green one, so I decided I had to pick up the green. I think there was a red or a burgundy one as well, and maybe a blue one, which I turned down. But I think they weren't Kaleidos. I think they were just regular Voyagers from what I recall. So I picked up these two, and it does say Visconti Firenze there. Firenze is Florence. But these are really beautiful pens. Again, another 14 karat gold nib there. This is a medium nib on this one, not a fine nib. These are cartridge converters, and again, you can post the cap. They do post quite deeply and securely. And again, it has that clip there, that kill clip. I think these are really good clips. I don't know if any of these have actually snapped in the past, but these are really, really good functional clips. So I do like these clips on the Visconti Voyagers there. Kind of a shame that they went to the bridge style of clip. Although, to be honest, I do like the bridge style clip as well. But in terms of clipping it to a garment, I do think that the keel clip that the Voyagers had was probably a little bit better in terms of holding the pen against some fabric, like a shirt pocket, for instance. The next pen inked up here this week is the Visconti Medici Magnifico. This is in the red marble. I do need to actually have a look to see if there was a specific name. I think when Visconti released this, it was just going to be red, blue, green. But then after the red one, they decided to start naming it more. There might now be a name to this, but I remember originally when it came out, it was just the red marble. Beautiful pen. It's solid sterling silver, AG925. On the cap, the power vac knob, the section as well. And the body is a marble or granite. Beautiful pen, very heavy. Around, I think about 65, 70 grams in weight. I'd have to go back and have a look at my review video. It's a 23 cat palladium medium nib there as well, ABS plastic feed. It is a power vac filler. It is a hook safe lock mechanism. I do like the concave sections here, very similar to that of the Visconti Homo sapien range. I do find those very, very comfortable compared to maybe, say, the Opera Master, where you don't have a concave section. I think the reason why I feel that it's more comfortable is that you find that your fingers don't slip down the section. So even if you had like a metal or a chrome section, they're not going to slip far. So you're not going to get like inky fingers, which is what I have had a lot on pens that haven't had a concave section to it. The next pen inked up again is another Visconti, another Medici Il Magnifico. This is in the Lapis Lazuli. So again, like the red marble, this is a solid sterling AG925 silver cap, section, and power vac knob, but it is plated in gold, so it's a gold vermeil. You have this Lapis Lazuli marble or granite stone there. These, I should mention actually, these do feel cold to the touch. So if you've never had a marble, a true marble or granite pen, you will find that this one feels a little bit warmer, but I would say probably because it's just been in my hand. This one does feel quite cold to the touch. Brilliant pen. I do like it. I did initially think before buying this that this looked just a little bit too bling, a little bit too goldified, and I don't think that now. I think it looks very, very nice. Again, it is a power vac filler. It's a single reservoir like the red marble. You've got a hook safe lock mechanism. You've also got the concave section there, and you also have a number 6 size. This is the newer Visconti in-house nib. It's a 18 karat gold medium nib. Writes a little bit more between a medium and a broad, but I do like how that writes. A lot of people do say, did you prefer the older 14 or 18 karat gold nibs? So these are the older 14 karat gold. Then Visconti switched to palladium, 23 karat palladium, and then more recently they switched back to 18 karat and 14 karat gold. I actually like the newer 18 karat gold nibs. I also like the older 14 karat and the older 18 karat gold nibs. I also like the 23 karat palladium nibs. The only thing I would say is that most of the 23 karat palladium nibs that I have were a little bit more bouncier, a little bit more softer, so a little bit more cushiony in terms of the writing experience. I think probably I preferred the 23 karat palladium a little bit more, but I still like the older 18 karat gold nibs, 14 karat gold nibs, and I like the newer 18 karat gold as well. Oh, and the 14, because I do have one of the 14 karat golds. It's in the Visconti Homo sapiens demo stones in, I think it's called Sea Sapphire Blue. The next pen inked up is a WAHL Eversharp Decoband Oversize. I did go through a phase of liking these, liking the ASC Bolognas, all part of the pen family, and there's good reason to it. A lot of them came with celluloid material. These two are actually resin that I have here, but they are beautiful resins, and you really do see the chatoyance there on those resins. The reason why I really like them is that they are fairly weighty, they are pretty oversized, quite girthy, and they have number 8 size nibs. And those number 8 size nibs write very, very wet. Great if you're writing a letter. Not so great if you're writing in a notebook and you need to turn the page, because you will have to wait a long time. But you can see why. That feed is massive, so it does hold a lot of ink. These you can post the caps on. The Medici or Magnificos you could, but you have metal fleur-de-lis here, and then plastic inner hook safe lock mechanisms. So I try not to post those after having the red one, the inner hook safe lock, fail, and I had to get it repaired by Visconti under warranty. So these caps will post. Just getting back to what I was talking about here. This is a pneumatic filling pen, so you have a hole there. I've got to be careful because this is inked up. This has a sac inside it. So you pull that out, you put your finger on that hole there, and focus that, and try and get focus there. So you put your finger on the hole and basically you push down. That creates a vacuum, and then when you let your finger off, it sucks up ink and air, but mostly ink if you have the nib in a bottle, and it will fill the rubber latex sac. So the old style, I think it's Chilton filling system, pneumatic filling system, but it's a filling system that works. You will have to replace the sacs probably every 10 or so years. On some of my ASCs, I've had to change them every 2 years on a couple, but that may be more because of a flaw in the sac. It might be because of the ink that I used. You do have to be a little bit careful on some of the ink that you use in sacs, because they can go a little bit more crustier. They can attack the latex and cause it to shrivel and shrink and crack. So you do have to be a little bit more careful on the inks that you use. The next one here is this one, and again another WAHL Eversharp Decoband Oversize. This is in the Positano blue. Again, a beautiful resin. Has a lot of dark areas and some beautiful galaxy-like sort of bright light blue areas, as well as dark areas there. And you can see there that body really does look nice. So I do like this pen a lot. Again, it is that pneumatic filling system there. You can see, and again, it has that number 8 size nib there. These are typically one nib width, and it typically is around a medium or a broad. You can't choose a fine, an extra fine, a stub on these. Now, there was at one point the ability to choose on ASC Bologna's. I remember ASC, the pen family back, it was ASC back then, did do a Three Kings set where you could have a special grind for Mark Bacchus. I haven't seen that so much lately. There have been a few pens that they have released where you could get a special grind on, but typically they're normally a medium nib and they write super, super wet. The next pen here inked up is my Classic Pens LB5. This is in the Kaen, number 38 of 50, and it says Sailor LB5 Kaen. This is a Classic Pens pen, so Andy Lambrou and Paul Rossi made these at Classic Pens. Well, I say made these. It was actually Sailor that made them, but they did, I believe, they obviously sourced the material for these, and I believe like Paul Rossi was a sort of a aircraft manufacturer of parts, as well as a jeweler as well. So he would do a lot of these cap bands and clips and trims and that. So I believe Paul Rossi had made some of that. This has a 21 karat gold Sailor King of pen nib on there. And this is a really, really nice nib. It's a medium nib. These are cartridge converter pens. You can post the cap as well. It posts quite deeply and securely. These pens now do sell for a lot of money because Paul Rossi has unfortunately passed away in 2021, and likewise Andy Lambrou has disappeared off the face of this earth. And the last I heard, he had moved back to the UK into a nursing or convalescence home in Sussex. And I can't corroborate that story, but from a number of people in the UK pen show circuit, they have sort of between them corroborated that story. And unfortunately, as I understand it, Andy does have dementia, quite bad, and he doesn't remember much about pens at this stage. At least that's how I understand it. If the story is correct, which is a shame, and we are all on this earth for a finite amount of time, and we all should enjoy ourselves and do what we like to do, and that's what I do here. I like to write with my pens. I like to own and use my pens. So this is an outlet for me. We have to do, a lot of us have to do things that we don't necessarily like to do in life, like work. Most of us are not millionaires. I'm certainly not a millionaire. But most of us do have to go to work every day, and we spend a lot of time doing things that maybe we wouldn't choose to do if we didn't have to do it. If we were millionaires, we probably wouldn't go to work every day. So doing something that I enjoy, which is writing with my pens, doing these videos as well for you all to watch, it's something that I enjoy doing. The next pen inked up here is the Visconti Opera Master River Thames, and beautiful pen. This was a Chatterley Luxuries exclusive, and I really liked it because I had already at that time purchased the Visconti Homo Sapiens London Fog, and this uses the same material in the London Fog cap. So I was quite a fan of this. I nearly bought a couple or three of these. I decided against it because I don't typically normally buy the same pen just in different trims or trim colours. So this came in the yellow gold, which is this one, which I believe was Sunrise. There was a midday, which was rhodium plated silver. Then there was Sunset, which was rose gold, and then there was ruthenium or black plated, which was midnight. This is a really great pen. Old style threads here. It is a Powervac. It's a double reservoir. It's got a what is a silver section vermeil plated gold, and it has the older 23 cat palladium nib. This is a stub nib. It's a 1.3mm stub, and I do like writing with these. I just don't find I get much of a chance nowadays because most of the writing I do is letters, and typically I will write letters on 5 to 7mm line ruling, and this, I think the smallest I could ever write in was 8mm, and ideally I really do need to write in 12mm line widths. So I do find that I only get about half the amount of writing on a page if I use a stub nib. So for me, I don't write as much with my stub nibs. I do have quite a few. I do have a lot that are actually on the Visconti Opera Masters, but I've got this one inked up this week as well. The next pen here is the Onoto, and this is the British Museum. I believe you can actually buy this at the British Museum in the gift shop. It is the British Museum pen, and it does say here the British Museum, and it basically shows the ceiling, the glass ceiling of the reading, or I think is it the reading room, the writing room? I think it's a reading room, and you can see that there in that level of detail. You also get the standard Onoto style clip there, and you get this lovely, it is a solid sterling silver AG925 weighted pen, so around 95 grams in weight, but it has this beautiful enamel coating, which is very, very smooth, and you can just see that there. Very, very beautiful. You do get the hallmark there as well, the silver hallmark, and you also do, if I can see it there, the wrong way up, yeah, it's number 6 of 100, so only 100 of these made. You can't post the caps. These are really heavy caps, really heavy bodies, so you wouldn't want to normally. You've got a silver section here, or chrome section, and you have a number 7 size Onoto fine nib. It is a cartridge converter pen, but you can see there it's actually quite long in my hand. So I have that one inked up with me as well this week. And then the last pen I have inked up, again, another solid silver sterling AG 925 Onoto. This is my Magna Carta. You do get a coin finial here on the cap finial, and then you have the Onoto clip, but you get all of this beautiful inscription from parts of the Magna Carta, and you can see here on the cap band it says Magna Carta 1215. You also have some more inscription down here on the body, as well as a coat of arms as well. Really good pen. Again, you can't post the cap on this. You've got the silver chrome section here, and number 7 size. Again, Onoto fine nib, 18 karat gold nib there. It is a cartridge converter pen, but I do like these. They are really, really good writers. So I do have a few Onotos now, not as many as maybe my Viscontis, but I do have quite a few now, and I do like writing with those. I do like the writing experience. Both the Visconti nib and the Onoto nib are both made by Bock. So shock horror, that's probably why I like both of the writing experiences of Visconti and also Onoto. So there you have it. That's my currently inked pens for this week. I think let's now go and do a writing sample. So the first pen inked up this week is the Visconti Kaleido Voyager in the forest green. So I think we'll do an ink swatch here. And this is a fine nib. And it is quite a stiff nib for what is essentially a 14 karat gold nib. Most 14 karat gold nibs tend to be a little bit bouncy or flexy. So this is the Visconti Kaleido Voyager, and it's a forest green, and this is a did I say it was a fine nib? I think it's a fine nib. Yes, it is a fine nib, and it's a 14 karat gold nib. And the ink in here is Kaen Dash, and it's vibrant green. But that is, even though it's a firmer nib, I do actually like it. It is a nice writing pen. The next pen here is another Visconti Kaleido Voyager in the Yellow Dawn. So we'll do the ink swatch here. Now, this is a medium nib. Again, it's a 14 karat gold nib, and I would say that it's probably pretty firm as well. Not quite as firm as the previous Kaleido Voyager. So this is actually, it's a Visconti, I was going to say Voyager. Kaleido Voyager, and it's the Yellow Dawn, and it's a medium, and it's a 14 karat gold nib there. And then the ink in here is Diamine, and it's Blaze Orange, which is a lovely orange colour. Quite a darker orange, but an orange that I do like. And it was one of my, I think it was my first orange ink that I added to my collection. The next pen inked up is the Visconti Medici Il Magnifico in the red marble. So we'll do an ink swatch here. Now, this is a medium. It's a 23 cat palladium nib. It's very wet, and it also has a slight bounce to it. Not a lot, but a slight bounce. So this is the Visconti, and it's the Medici Il Magnifico in the red marble. And it's a medium, and it's a 23 cat palladium nib. And then the ink in here is a Pelican, Edelstein, and it is Star Ruby, which I know it's a red pen, it's a pink ink, but what can I say? I like that combination. The next pen inked up is again another Visconti Medici Il Magnifico in the Lapis Lazuli. And this nib sings a little bit, and I don't know if you could hear that, but it does sing a little bit. Really only on Oxford Optic paper. I don't find it sings on Temuray River. So this is the Visconti Medici Il Magnifico in the Lapis Lazuli. And I thought it might just be the ink combination, but I've tried now a different ink and it still sings. It's a medium, and it's the newer 18 cat gold nib from Visconti. I could probably smooth that nib out a little bit, and that might reduce the singing, but I think it's the resonance of the tines. So I think probably once a nib sings, it's difficult to stop it singing. The ink in here is Diamine, and it's Aqua Lagoon. Now, strangely, in this pen, it looks quite a light blue, a turquoisey blue. But Diamine Aqua Lagoon is maybe a little bit more on the greener side in other pens. So, interesting how that changes a little bit depending on the pen that you put it in. The next pen inked up is the WAHL Eversharp Decoband Oversize in the Jade. So we'll do an ink swatch. And hey, look, interestingly enough, this is the same ink. And see what I mean? This is a lot more greener. So this is the WAHL Eversharp Decoband Oversize in the Jade. Oh, started to run out. In the Jade, and this is a medium, and it's an 18 cat gold nib. And the ink in here is Diamine Aqua Lagoon. And I'm actually starting to think that maybe, even though I actually wrote down that has Aqua Lagoon, I'm starting to wonder if maybe it might be Diamine China Blue, because even though Diamine China Blue looks a lot darker normally, so I'm not sure. But it does seem rather strange. Certainly, I've written it down as Diamine Aqua Lagoon on my spreadsheet. The next pen inked up is the WAHL Eversharp Decoband Oversize in the Positano Blue. So we'll do an ink swatch. And this, I know, is inked up with China Blue. So this is the WAHL Eversharp Decoband Oversize, and it is the Positano, and it's a medium, and it's an 18 cat gold nib. And the ink in here definitely is diamine. Let me just double check. Actually, no, this is diamine imperial blue. So maybe that one is diamine China blue. Maybe I did actually record it wrongly. The next pen is the Classic Pens LB5 in the Kaen. So we'll do another ink swatch here. Now, I definitely know what this ink is. There's only one ink that I put in this pen. Actually, there were two inks, but I know what is in this pen. This is the Classic Pens LB5 in the Kaen, and it's a medium, and it's a 18 cat gold nib. Actually, sorry, no, it's a 21 cat gold nib, because it is a Sailor King pen nib. And then the ink in here, I definitely know this is Mont Blanc Corn Poppy Red, because I had to refill this, and I refilled it with that ink. The next pen is the Visconti Opera Master River Thames. So we'll do another ink swatch here. And this is a very wide nib. So I do like writing with it, but I don't get a lot of chance. So this is the Visconti Opera. Now, these are 5mm squares, so you can see even in uppercase, it's very difficult to write. So this is Visconti Opera Master River Thames. And it's a 1.3mm stub nib, and it's a 23 cat palladium nib. And then the ink in here is diamine Earl Grey. And I do really need to write in a 12mm line ruling. If I'm going to write in cursive with upper and lower case characters, I can just about get away with a 5mm ruling in uppercase print, but I really do need around 10 or 12mm line rulings. The next pen inked up is the Onoto, and this is the British Museum Great Court. So we'll do another ink swatch here. And this is a fine nib, but I do love how it writes. And I have, over the years, gravitated more finer nibs. I don't think I will ever go to an extra fine, but maybe I will. So this is the Onoto British Museum Great Court. And it is a fine, and it is an 18 cat gold nib. And then the ink in here is Venvistus, and it's Aqua di Spargi. But that is very, very lovely turquoisey coloured ink. And then the last pen here is the Onoto Magna Carta. So we'll again do another ink swatch. And I do love this grey ink. It is my favourite grey ink. I will probably put in another order actually and get a number of 30ml bottles, because I think I still have 2 bottles of this 80ml, but this one is almost halfway through, so I probably just need to top it up. So this is the Onoto Magna Carta, because I do go through a lot of this ink, and it is a fine, and it's an 18 karat gold nib, and the ink in here is diamine Earl Grey. but that is a really nice dark grey ink, almost bordering on black in some pens, but it is nice. So I think let's take a look at these pens inked up one more time. So we have a Visconti Kaleido Voyager in the forest green in a fine 14 karat gold nib inked up with Caran d'Ache vibrant green. We have a Visconti Kaleido Voyager Yellow Dawn in a medium 14 karat gold nib inked up with Diamine Blaze orange. We have a Visconti Medici Il Magnifico in the red marble in a medium 23 karat palladium nib inked up with Pelican Edelstein Star Ruby. We have a Visconti Medici Il Magnifico in the Lapis Lazuli in a medium 18 karat gold nib, and I'm actually pretty sure this is not Diamine Aqua Lagoon. I do think it might be Diamine China Blue. The next pen inked up is a WAHL Eversharp Decoband Oversize, and this is in the Jade in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Diamine Aqua Lagoon. We have a WAHL Eversharp Decoband Oversize in the Positano Blue in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Diamine Imperial Blue. We have a Classic Pens LB5 Kaen in a medium 21 karat gold nib inked up with Mont Blanc Corn Poppy Red. We have a Visconti Opera Master River Thames in a 1.3mm 23 karat palladium stub nib inked up with Diamine Earl Grey. We have an Onoto British Museum Great Court in a fine 18 karat gold nib inked up with Venvistus Aqua di Spargi. And then we have an Onoto Magna Carta in a fine 18 karat gold nib inked up with Diamine Earl Grey. So there you have it. That's my Kony ink pens for this week. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.